Welcome back. We're going to look at another problem this time where we're trying to find the equation of a circle. In this case we were given 2 points on the circle and a line that passes through the center. So those three pieces of information, we're going to have to use those to find the equation of the circle. So this is it here anyway. We have our x, we have our y-axis, we have our green circle going around. It goes through the point 1, 1 up here, goes through the point 2, minus 1 down here, and this line here, 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0, goes directly to the center point of the circle. Alright, so we're going to have to use those three pieces of information to try and find the equation of the circle. So I'm going to start this off the way we did in the last video. So it's just subbing 2 minus 1 and 1 and 1 in. So that should be no problem. I'm actually going to skip ahead and do that so you guys can just look at the answers, but I'm not going to go through each bit because you can watch the last video for that. The most difficult bit about this question is going to be this new one, having the line through the center. So anyway, I'm just going to scroll down here and I'll start subbing those in. So I'll start just by writing x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Alright, so I'm going to have 1 and 1, and then I'm going to have 2 and minus 1. Alright, so I quickly work through those, subbing the points in there, and we got our two equations. We just subbed it into every x and y. We kind of worked it out, and we got these two equations here. So 2g plus 2f plus c is equal to minus 2, and 4g minus 2f plus c is equal to minus 5. So if you're unsure how I came to these, just watch the last video, and it'll clear that up. So that's just, again, those two steps. We have two equations now. Now we need a third equation, so we can try and solve it for g, f, and c, and we can find our equation of the circle. So we're going to have to use this line here. So 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. We're going to have to use this piece of information. Alright, so I'll go down here and I'll tell you guys the trick on how we can do that. So we have our line 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. So what are we going to do with this? So we know that the center point of the circle, okay, is given by minus g and minus f, right? We also know that this line here goes straight through the center point of the circle, and we know that if we sub in a point into a circle, so I'm just going to say sub point into circle, that's called verifying that the point is on the line. So we had a video about that, but basically if you sub this point into the circle, it should be true because this line here goes through the center point. So that one might be a little bit of a stretch, but basically what you're supposed to do is you put minus g and minus f into the x and y values here, and you get a third equation. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 3 by minus g instead of x minus f instead of y minus 7 is equal to 0. So we get minus 3g plus f, because it's minus minus f, minus 7 is equal to 0. I'm just going to rewrite that as minus 3g plus f is equal to plus 7. Okay, so if you get a line that goes through the center point, that's the trick you have to do, and it's because since we know that this line goes through the center point, we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to put minus g into the x and minus f into the y, and we get our third equation here, and now we can use this to help solve these two equations as well. Okay, so now all we have to do is solve these three equations. So 1 and 2, if you remember, think back to algebra, we did solving equations in 3 variables. You start off with ones in 3 variables, and then you have to break it down to equations with only 2 variables. So this one here, we only have g and f as unknowns or variables. So basically we need to make a new equation out of 1 and 2 that doesn't have c, so one that only has g and f, and then we can mix it here. So we need to make 1 and 2, we need to put them together to get equation 4, and there should be no c in equation 4. Alright, so I'm going to do that down here. So we're going to have 2g plus 2f plus c and 4g minus 2f plus c. So we're going to have 2g plus 2f plus c is equal to minus 2, and then 4g minus 2f plus c. 4g minus 2f plus c is equal to minus 5, right? Minus 5, yeah. So what are we going to do now? So some people might be tempted to cancel out the f's, but that won't help us at all, because like I said, we need to make an equation with no c in it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the bottom line by minus 5. Alright, so I'm going to multiply everything here by, by minus 1, I meant to say by minus 1. Okay, so now we're going to have, instead, we're going to have 2g plus 2f plus c is equal to minus 2 on the top, hasn't changed. On the bottom now, it's going to be minus 4g plus 2f minus c is equal to 5. And if you're not so sure about this, you can watch our video on simultaneous equations in algebra. So this will cancel. We're going to be left then with minus 2g plus 4f, and then this is going to be equal to 3. Put a box around this, and this is going to be equation 4. Perfect. So now what we have to do is we have to mix 3 and 4, so we can find a value for g and a value for f, and then we can put that back into one of these to find a value for c. So if we go orange, so I'm going to write 3 and 4 out here. So we have our number 3, which is minus 3g plus f is equal to 7, and then we have number 4, which is going to be minus 2g plus 4f is equal to 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the f's first. I'm going to multiply everything in this line by minus 4. So multiply by minus 4. So that means we're going to have 12g minus 4f is equal to minus 28. And on the bottom we're going to have minus 2g plus 4f is equal to 3. Okay, we're going to add these two together. This will cancel with that. And we're going to be left with 10g. And this is going to be minus 25. That means g is going to be equal to minus 25 divided by 10. And that means g is equal to minus 2.5. Box around that. So that's our first one done. So now we're going to sub that back into equation 3 over here. So I'm just going to draw a bit of a line down here. So equation 3, we're going to have minus 3g plus f is equal to 7. That's going to be minus 3 by minus 2.5 plus f is equal to 7. Sorry, that should be a decimal point. Minus 3 by minus 2.5 will give us plus 7.5 plus f is equal to 7, and that means f will be equal to minus 0.5. Right? So that's our second bit, and the last bit we need to get is c. So I'm going to stick all of those into this one here. I'm going to have to scroll across to make some more space. So go in green. I'm going to say we have 2g plus 2f plus c is equal to minus 2. That's 2 by minus 2.5 plus 2 by minus 0.5 plus c is equal to minus 2. Sorry, it's getting a bit crowded. And now, yeah, just to save you guys time, instead of working through the rest of it, I'll just give you the answer for c. So if you guys want, you can work through that yourself, but basically c is going to be equal to 4. Alright? So now to finish the whole question off, I'm going to move across again, and we're going to start by writing the general equation. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. So now we're going to sub in our values for g, f, and c. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared plus 2 by minus 2.5 x, and then plus 2 by minus 0.5 y plus 4 is equal to 0. Our final answer is going to be x squared plus y squared minus 5x minus y plus 4 is equal to 0. Right? So that's the method of how you do it if you're given 2 points and you're given a line that goes through the center. Right? So again, finding the equation of a circle, given 2 points and a line through the center. So getting the 2 points shouldn't be too difficult. That's the same method we did in the last video. The only new thing you really need to remember here is that if the line goes to the center point, so 3x minus y minus 7, remember the center point is minus g minus f, and we sub minus g and minus f into x and y in this line, and then we find our new equation. And then after that, it's just algebra trying to solve all the simultaneous equations. So they are quite long, they are quite messy, but they aren't too hard once you know this basic trick here, and you get most of the marks just for doing these tricks. If you make a mistake in doing the algebra, they don't really care that much. Anyway, I'll leave it there because it's getting quite long. We will see you in the next video where we look at more finding the equation of a circle, and this time we're going to be given 2 points and a tangent.